Welcome back to the channel, everyone. It's been a while. I've been working on this Galant VR4 nonstop. It's been a busy summer. I have a lot to cover in this video, so let's go ahead and get started. All right, so what we have here is the fuel pump hanger with the fuel pump installed. It's a TI Automotive or Walbro 450. Plenty of fuel for what I'm going to be using. And then I also have a Radium Engineering adapter. But really, this is ready to drop into the fuel tank. But let me go ahead and show you the fuel tank after I got it cleaned up, and also some of the products I use to coat it with. So here's the VR4 fuel tank. It's all cleaned up and ready to go. All I gotta do is just drop the pump in it and then eventually put it back in the car. The coating I used on it is this SEM undercoat, and it worked amazing. It seems to be very durable and pretty much chip free. I did do a lot of prep work on this, so it actually would adhere well, and also let it cure about 24 to 36 hours. Real easy to apply, just spray on and it just coats everything. I used maybe barely half a can for about 3 coats, top and bottom. So in my last video, you guys did see that I had the rear end torn apart. I did do the undercoating underneath the car. I used the SEM product undercoating and it worked out amazing. I did the fender wells, and I also put the subframe back together, all new bushings, all new control arms, and I'll put a picture right here for that. You can also tell that I did paint the calipers, I did put some brakes on, I put extended studs on, all new wheel bearings, and everything else that I needed to do for just making sure this car was good to go. This car is on KYB AGXs with H&R lowering springs. They seem to be okay, but most likely I will probably go to coilovers eventually once I get to that point in this stage of the build. Now, the biggest thing in this car, and you probably just noticed a second ago, is I have no interior besides a Sparco seat. And the reason for that is because the factory seats I didn't like them. And I want this car to feel good while I'm driving it, and I just wanted better seats in it, more up to date. So the seat that I am running is a Sparco R100. It's a basic seat, fairly cheap, but it does the job. It does have a little bit of adjustability. I do have the rails so I can move it back and forward. Then I have the planter bases. These things are really nice. They really bolted up really well, and they are manufactured very well. They give you a lot of adjustability, side to side play, forward movement, to where you can really get this seat fitting the way you want. Now I do have the car pretty much gutted, no seat belts. The dash is completely out, the wiring harness is torn apart, and the back seat's all taken apart. Back here I have a harness brace. I did have to build this harness brace now because they don't make parts for this car anymore. So it is a 6-point location harness brace, a little overkill, I know, and I do plan on doing track events in this car, so that's kind of one of the safety factors, besides a roll cage, which I'm just not ready for yet. And as you guys can see, the carpet turned out really well. It's still old, it's 30 plus years old, but the carpet, I mean, it definitely came out really good. And these aren't streaks, these are just kind of from where I brushed the carpet, but for the color and everything, it turned out really well. And I'm very happy with it. It's very uniformed, it looks very good, and I think it will match all of the brand new painted interior pieces along with the seats and the console and everything like that. I did paint the center console black, and the other side panels are all gray, mostly to help kind of blend in the carpet. But again, I'm not really going for looks. I just want things to be a little nicer. I do have this wiring harness, which, man, it is just a mess from the multiple owners or previous owner. I don't really know, so I'm not going to blame anybody, but it is a mess and I have to go through all of it. Luckily, I do have a spare wiring harness for this car that I might have to go through, and I am going to pretty much redo this entire wiring harness and pretty much make a custom one. I know it's a little overkill because I am using ECM Link or DSM Link, but it is what I want to do in case I decide to go Haltech later on. The floor is actually really good condition. It's cleaned up. I am going to put a little extra sound deadening just in the floorboard because I did remove some of the black sound deadening that was there because it was kind of gross. Right now the blower motor and the blower motor casing is taken out, and I did rebuild that and clean that up as well. Most of the interior parts I did clean. I took out the headliner, cleaned it, and as you can tell, everything has been pretty much gutted. So I took the interior parts out, I cleaned them up, and I did paint them. Nice color. I used also SEM paint, their interior color match paint, which worked really well. So today, My task is to pretty much get my power wire and my ground wire ran through the car so I can go ahead and get the sound deadening down and then get my carpet put back in. So what I'm going to be using to connect the ground wire through the firewall is something like this. And pretty much this right here allows me to take this apart, and pretty much it allows me just to drill a hole and it seals. It's got a rubber gasket right through the firewall. Because of that, I can just have one quick release end that goes into the engine bay and one quick release end that goes into the interior side. These are really convenient, and honestly, it's just a cleaner look, so I don't have to worry about running that thick gauge of wire through the firewall or drilling a hole and just leaving it. So this will be a lot more efficient. Now, I am running a ground wire all the way from the battery connected to it all the way to the engine, which will connect directly to the engine. It mitigates any type of electrical issues that you might run into, especially with the ECU. You definitely want to have enough power and really good grounding for the electronic components. Make sure the engine runs good and the ECU and the electronics are running as they should. This is mostly just a quick update video of kind of everything that's been going on. There's probably stuff I have missed, you know, the painting of all the panels, prepping them and doing them right. That was quite the feat. Getting the carpet cleaned and dyed, tearing apart the interior, cleaning all the crud, and I still got a lot of stuff to clean on the floor before I put the sound deadening on. And I got to pull the wiring harness out and get the power wires and the ground wires all mounted, and so I can get the carpet and start getting the interior back in. So I'm going to end the video here, and I will see you guys in the next video, and thanks for watching.